everyone, I'm Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser. Thanks for being with me. This is Ask Dr. Lori Live. That's right, guests from all over are going to show me their art, antiques, and collectibles. I'm going to evaluate them, tell you and list what to look for, and give them values too. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. Those of you who have been saying, oh, there's nothing at the thrift stores anymore. I'm going to show you what you should be looking for and buying from the thrift stores that are in abundance in the newsletter. How do you sign up? Just go to drloriv.com, and then you can see at the free thumbs up free tab, put in your email address, and we'll send it out. One's coming out soon. So we've got all kinds of objects, all kinds of things from all over the world. Make sure those connections are nice and clear. And of course, a plain background will help me to evaluate and look at your objects. So let's see what we've got. I want to see smiles, and I need to see the whole object. There we go. All right. Pearls and pearls. Lots of necklaces, not some necklaces right out of the chute, Okay, let's go with the open gold one. It's open and very gold in color. It's got multiple open work pieces. It looks like Napier, maybe Monet. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori. How you doing?
Hi, good, Dr. Lori. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your first name?
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy, where are you?
I'm in Virginia.
So tell me, what's happened? How'd you acquire this piece? It's a nice piece, nice necklace.
I got it from a local thrift store. Just shopping around.
Any marks on it?
There is. It's Givenchy.
Oh, it's Givenchy. Great. Okay. So here's a couple of things. When you're looking at these kinds of pieces, I want you to look for big names like Givenchy. So, for example, open work pieces. Now, when you see the mark, is the mark on the clasp? Because you've got, your hands there and, a little tough to see. So where is the Givenchy mark?
Where did it go?
And don't forget, the rest of you should be putting your questions of what you want to know about this particular necklace in the comments. So you want to know something, and I'm going to tell you, but you want to ask your questions too, for those of you who are watching. Great. All right, great. So how many links, if you counted them? Have you got 12?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, 9. And it hits to about 18 inches in length?
16.
Oh, 16. Okay. So that's a nice one. How much did you pay for it?
$1.
Couple things you're going to look for. $1. That's fantastic. First of all, it should have some weight to it. Second of all, it should have, of course, gold toned metal. So that indicates that you've got, of course, a gold plating or a gold vermeil, 1/1000th, some kind of gold overlay. The weight doesn't come from gold because it's not, of course, 14 karat or solid gold, 22 karat or solid gold, 24 karat or solid gold. But basically what it has a base metal, and then there's the overlay. I like the repeated pattern or the repeated link, and I like an open link. That's very typical of the pieces that are made in what's called, of course, fashion jewelry by makers like Chanel, by makers like Givenchy and others. Small. We don't want to see 24 inches of these. We want to see choker length or the 16 to 18 inch length. And that's basically what you're looking for. So short, right? A good maker like Givenchy or Chanel. You want to also you might look at Yves Saint Laurent. I know your hands are getting, your arms are getting tired. And then I want you to look, of course, at aspects of it like repeated forms like this. These teardrops that are repeated in open work are really quite fine. Dates, of course, latter part of the 1970s into the 80s, and value on it. So you paid $1. It's a real bargain. Have you been watching my real bargain videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bet you're going to be pretty hopeful on this one. It's a real bargain at $400.
Wow. I thought it was close up there somewhere. And I just happened upon it. It was sitting in the thrift store. I didn't have my reading glasses. I couldn't see the mark.
You gotta get the loop. You gotta get the loop. What are you doing? You gotta get the loop.
No, I have the loop. I just didn't have it with me.
Oh,
and I didn't have my glasses on, but I saw that there was a mark, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna grab it and I'll look at it at home with my loop. So
I'll deal with it later, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know what? That's what I want to develop. I want to develop your instincts. I'm looking at it. I think it's right. I've seen this kind of thing on Dr. Lori. I'm just gonna buy it. It's $1, right? You can't lose. Beautiful. Congratulations. Very good. Very good. I like it. Yeah. Terrific. When you're looking at it, those kinds of things, like I said, you're looking for weight, you're looking for the gold, you're looking for the repeated patterns, you're looking for open work. And then of course, the icing on the cake is you're looking for the Givenchy. And of course, my other videos are telling you about which costume jewelry designers and their marks, right, that you should be looking for. So look for those videos too, because they're there. My guests are here, and thanks for all of your support of the channel. That's Super Chats and Super Stickers, as well as watching and sharing. And if you, of course, want to do that, you can do that right here. All right. Let's take a look at this plate. Let's take a look at this plate. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Melanie.
Hi, Melody. So I like your bracelet too, Melody. I don't know. I might want to talk about your bracelet better than your plate. No, I'm kidding. So tell me about your plate, Melody. How'd you acquire this?
Melanie, I've taken your class. I just want to tell everybody it's fabulous. Fabulous. Do it.
It's a lot of fun, right? The classes are fun, not only because of me, but because of everybody in it and everybody's object and where they're from and what Melanie?
Absolutely. It was just delightful. It's so worth it.
It's a great classroom community. It's totally cheap, I think.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's totally worth it. Yes, it's worth it. It's worth the time investment, but it's also very, very inexpensive. And that's what we like. I want you guys to succeed that way. So Austrian piece. Thank you for the loop. The loop helps support us do more videos. So thank you for the loop, and it helps you.
Thank God for you. But anyway, I got this at Goodwill, and it was $2.99. I left the tag on there.
Sticker on it. Okay. Nice Austrian plate in the manner of Limoges. Let's talk a little bit about this. First of all, I want questions from the rest of you. You're not just going to sit around. Let's go. Let's see your questions too. I'll answer those. But a couple of different things. And thank you for the super chats and super stickers. I appreciate you showing your appreciation. So a couple of different things. Thank you, LK Vintage. Thank you, all of you. So a couple of things about these plates. First of all, they look like Limoges plates, right? Those nice porcelain plates that you see coming out of Limoges, France, the tradition of those nice bright white porcelain pieces. Then what you look for is you look for different manufacturers where they're made, right? So for example, they could be made in Bavaria, they could be made in Austria, they could be made basically anywhere. Now, this one is a transferware plate. How do we know that? Sometimes they're hand painted and sometimes they're transferware with hand painting. So if you look for the little, and you can see it right, if you're looking at a clock on your plate, don't move your plate, Melody, stay still. If you're looking at the clock on your plate, it's where 10 o'clock would be in between those two roses. Those two roses have a little, very, very slight line. If you see that line right there in Melanie's plate, you can actually see the transfer. In addition to the transfer, that means that they actually printed it on top, right? They went in and they actually highlighted. Somebody went in and hand painted, and then they reglazed it again, okay? That's what you're looking at. Now you have what's called pointed star, right? That's what the scallop shell, almost the rim looks like. It looks like a pointed star all the way around, and it's been embossed, or the pattern is actually pushed into the plate. It is, of course, porcelain. You can see that from the nice bright white color. Can you turn the plate over the other side so we can see the back? See the nice white porcelain. So if you had your list, you're looking at, do I see transferware? Do I see my list that I give you? Do I see transferware 1? Do I see white porcelain 2? Do I see an embossed piece 3? Do I see a donut mold? That's the circle and the bigger circle. See the small circle in the back, right? That's the mold. And the bigger circle, that's called the donut mold. It looks like a donut. Me, I like bagels. I think it looks more like a bagel. But anyway, that particular thing, look for that mold. And then, of course, look for hand painting. The mark is icing on the cake. If you have a Limoges mark, right, from Jean Pouillet, or maybe you have a Austrian mark, right, or maybe you have a German mark, whatever it might be. Tell me how you acquired it.
I have the most wonderful Goodwill. I go in there, load up my cart, and I tell the gal I have so much money to spend, and she makes it work. I make it work. Oh, I do too.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people you have to ask, right? And then she probably figures, hey, there's so much stuff in the back, I got to move this stuff out. So that's not a bad thing. That's wonderful. I think that's great. So that's terrific. Just because it's transferware, does that mean it's cheaper quality opposed to hand painting quality in China or porcelain? Transferware is not always a bad thing. You know, transferware gets a bad rap, but there's a lot of transferware pieces that in fact are very, very desirable, right? A lot of the Staffordshire transferware stuff can be worth a lot more than low quality hand painted pieces. But generally, if you see a piece that's hand painted versus a piece that's transferware, and they're exactly the same, other than transferware versus hand painted, the hand painted will probably be worth a little bit more. But don't disregard transferware, because a lot of it is exactly what people are looking for, those great, of course, English pieces of transferware. So how much did you pay this day when she made it work?
I'm sorry to say, I don't know.
Okay,
maybe
so say
$2.99 at the most. At the
Okay,
most,
say you actually paid the $2.99 that day because she couldn't help you out because I don't know, her manager's watching her, right? So value on that, right? Value on that piece about $40. So pretty good.
10%.
Even, yeah, that's right. And that's where I want you to be. So a lot of you who are, of course, are telling me, Dr. Lori, you know, your tips have helped me to succeed. They've helped me to make money. They helped me to start my business or to collect smarter, to find great pieces. And one of the tips I always tell you is the 10% rule, right? The 10% rule is try to get the piece at 10% of its value. So then you go, well, I don't know what its value is. So how do I know 10%? Well, if you watch this channel enough, you're going to know the value of a lot of different things. It's not just one thing, because I'm laying the groundwork for you. So when you go into a thrift shop that has all different kinds of stuff, you know what your house is like. Your house has all different kinds of stuff in it, not just one thing in it. Transferware, I can certainly explain, Judy. Nice question. First of all, transferware is where actually the image is transferred from a piece of paper or another decorative element onto the ceramic. So as opposed to it being a piece that actually, like this picture of me on a coffee mugs, which you could purchase here and support the channel on the Dr. Lori coffee mug, that's a transfer, basically. They transfer the image onto the piece of ceramic, right? So when they do that, then what happens is you basically have an established image, and you could repeat that image over and over again. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, Carol Ann. So that's what you're looking at. Hand painted is you've got the actual plate, you paint over it, then you could glaze on top, or you can leave it unglazed. It just depends. Many of the pieces that we all see that we love, pieces like that Austrian plate that Melanie had, of course, was transferware with highlighting. Highlighting is just a fancy word for, it's a little bit of hand painting, but they didn't go from the beginning to the end with hand painting. I'm sorry, I gotta fix this because the wire is moving. Okay, anyway, there you go. Got a little technical issue with the wires. But that's basically what you're looking at. But that's a very nice piece. And for $3.99, and you know, it never hurts to make friends with the people in the thrift stores. And you know, remember what they're doing too. They're trying to help. They've got a job to do. Everybody likes when you help somebody in my job. Somebody helped me with a particular thing this week. And you know, it's not very difficult to write a note, write a card, you know, bring over a little plant or some flowers, you know, thank people, because we all got it a little bit tough now. It wouldn't hurt any of us to show a little kindness. And I think a lot of us do. I think a lot of this particular group does. People are sweet here on the channel, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much, Lori, for supporting the channel always. I appreciate that too. My guests are here from all over. Let's see what else they've got. So we've got this piece that looks like the head of someone in ceramic. We've got a piece that looks like it could be composite amber style. We've got some pearls, lots of pearls tonight. My goodness, I should have worn pearls. Right? Wasn't thinking about pearls in this particular case. And then we've got the silver piece as well. Well, let's take a look. Let's see the back of the piece of ceramic, the head. Let's see the back first before I make a commitment to that. Okay, here's why I wouldn't commit to that. So, and there's a couple of reasons for it, but I want to talk a little bit about, yeah. So first of all, that other side, see, you'll notice in good works of art, you want to see it cleaned up. Okay. You want to see both sides cleaned up. And that's one of the things that we look for as well. But thank you for showing me the back of that. That's a nice piece. And then there was an orange necklace. I don't know if we can catch it. I don't know where we are here with this. If we want to go with this, it's up to you guys. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the orange beads. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Dr. Lori, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Where are you?
Good. Camrose, Alberta, Canada.
All right. So tell me your first name, hon.
It's Dawn.
Oh, Dawn, tell me what you've got here.
Well, I need your expertise because it looks like amber, but I've seen something online and I really need to know what you think.
Okay, how did you acquire it?
Secondhand, local thrift store.
So, a local thrift store. So
Yeah.
can you get it closer to the camera? Because I'll tell you,
Closer?
there's a lot of things that I'm looking at that say, it looks more like a composite than amber. Here's the thing about amber. As you well
Okay.
know, I've traveled all over the world. I've been lucky enough to of course, talk with people and help people learn about objects. And there's souvenir shopping in places like the Baltics, where most of the amber actually is sold. So a couple of different things. Oftentimes, amber, you will be able to see through much of the amber. This particular piece of amber and all of these beads are reading as if they are more opaque than see-through. So a couple of other things. Oftentimes people will replicate it. The color is very consistent, which is nice for a necklace, but not typical of amber. I have a video as well. So a video about how do you tell amber. So you can go to of course, the YouTube channel. You can go to the search and you can search amber. You could do the same thing on my website at my search feature, and you could see that particular video where I give you all these traits. But a couple things about this necklace that I want you to look for. First of all, size. This is a very nice big necklace. I like the length, and I like it for a couple of reasons. First of all, you've got large graduated beads that actually graduate, if you don't know what that is, small toward the top at the back of your neck, and then it gets bigger as you come toward a pendant, as if the pieces in the front look more like a pendant. How long is the necklace from end to end?
I measured it 28 inches.
So it's 28 inches. So it's significantly long, right?
Yes.
So if this were all amber, we would be way sky high. We'd be well into the thousands very, very quickly. All right. So that's one of the things. That doesn't mean that we can't find them, because I've shown you on Real Bargains. You can find that stuff for a couple bucks in jewelry jars, Goodwill, wherever it might be. So this particular piece, I think, is a composite material, right? I know you all love black lights. And yes, the black light will help you identify a lot of things, right? However, one of the things that I want you to look for when you're looking through the black light is not to get confused by it, because sometimes the black light can be a little confusing when it comes to amber. That's why I want you to watch the video about how you actually find it. So this particular piece, I think, is a composite. It's opaque. So a composite could be basically materials that relate to, again, many different materials coming together to make it look like or simulate amber. I will say that I think this is a beautiful necklace, and at 28 inches, I think you still have a lot of value in this necklace. I don't think you have the $3,000 amber value if it were real, because it's not, but I think you definitely have about $300 in that necklace. How much did you pay for it?
I believe $375.
Okay, so $375 is $3.75.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fantastic for a $300 necklace, and it's beautiful. But I don't think it is real amber, and one of the reasons is opaque. So when you're looking for amber, I want you to look for you can see through it. Use the black light or don't use the black light. I want you to see also little tiny, usually specks. Sometimes people like to look for bugs, but that's not the only thing you look for. The other thing that I want you to look for in necklaces like this, I like the graduated nature of them. A graduated necklace is going to be a little higher in value than one like this that is all the same size beads. Get a caliper. A caliper will also help you. You can get it through those types of things and other treasure hunting tools at our specials and shop page. You can just do it there. Yes, I get compensation when you do that. And that supports the channel. It helps me make you more videos. But this particular piece, I want you to look for color and consistency of color. I want you to look for length. I want you to look for the graduated beads. And this is the list that you're all looking for. And I want to give you the list, make it easy for you. And then I want you to also look for, of course, the manner. If it were amber, you want it not to be opaque. In this particular case, it's still a nice composite. It's still a nice composite that it's opaque, or you can't really see through it.
I was wondering if it was lucite. It kind of squeaks when you move it.
It squeaks a little bit. I don't think it's lucite. I do think it's a polymer or a composite, or basically a synthetic material like a plastic, but I don't think it's lucite particularly. I do think it dates probably to the 1970s. You remember the colors of the 70s, mossy green and copper tone, red, and of course that nice burnt orange. So I love the color too, Lisa. I think you're right. I love the color. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Very good. $3 and change for that is terrific. Yeah, lots of great pieces out there. Thank you for you're very welcome. Yeah, I had a West Coast class on Tuesday night. We had a great time. Elizabeth, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time there, and in fact, I enjoyed talking with all of you. We did a special time because I've been asking you, what topics do you want for my class, and what of course, time works for all of you. And a lot of you said, hey, a later night. So I will confess, I took a nap. We started at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which of course is 3 hours. And that would be 7 p.m. for those on the West Coast of the United States. And it worked out very well. So I hope we'll do it again. It was a lot of fun, but it's a lot of fun to see all of you. And I had some night owls too from the East Coast and from other parts of the world. So it was fun. So yes, you can join me in the classes. And as I said, you can check those out when the classes are going to take place. There's a couple spots in the most recent class that's coming up. You can check out the class on my event schedule. Okay. And we've got a big painting that looks like it could be a Jackson Pollock. Let's go over to that. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, Audrey.
Hi. Audrey?
Alabama.
Hi, Audrey. Alabama, what's happening? I like this painting. How'd you acquire it?
At a flea market.
Okay, can you, so the back of it, is it on canvas or is it on a piece of board?
Canvas.
It's on canvas. Okay, so here's a couple of things you look for. You guys probably know that I've written books on the abstract expressionists, including Jackson Pollock, right, and other artists of that time period. One of my first memories, of course, of working at the Yale Art Gallery, my father was on a tour with us. I was doing an education tour, and I stopped at the Jackson Pollock. I talked about American art from 1775 to 1950, and I got to the Jackson Pollock, and I stopped, and I said, well, thank you very much. The tour's over. It was 2 hours, and they were done. And my father came up to me with that look. Did your father ever give you that look where he calls you by your middle name, Lorianne? You know, what's your middle name, Audrey?
Faye.
Faye, yeah. Audrey Faye, you're in trouble if they're talking about your middle name, right?
I am.
Yeah. So my father called me by my middle name that day, and he said, I want to know about that Jackson Pollock. I want to know about, because he's a World War II veteran, I want to know about the art of my lifetime. So I went back to graduate school, and I said, okay, I'm going to learn about Jackson Pollock. And my first book was dedicated to him and that Jackson Pollock. Your particular piece looks like a drip painting. Many, many artists followed in the footsteps of Jackson Pollock. If you're looking for a Jackson Pollock action painting, the act of painting is what we're looking for, right? So this one has a lot of activity, right? This one has a lot of colors. Jackson Pollock is also known for, of course, thin lines, and then, of course, the dripped pieces. He would play the actual canvases out on his Long Island studio out on the floor, and he'd do it this way as opposed to on the wall, the way a lot of artists would paint. So that's a couple of things you want to look for. This particular piece, of course, what kind of background does it have? Audrey, do you know who owned it before you? Because that's called provenance. And when it comes to paintings like the abstract expressionists, you got to have a provenance.
I wished I had some provenance, but like I said, I actually found it in a thrift store for $5.
$5 is great. How big is it? Did you measure it?
32 by 32.
32 by 32 is great. Jackson Pollock originals would be a lot bigger than 32 by 32. Pieces can get cut down. It looks like this piece has been cut down from the back and then restapled. But I'll tell you what, Jackson Pollock is a big name. 32 by 32 for a piece that we would consider in the manner of Jackson Pollock or after Jackson Pollock. And those are appraisers' terms that we use on appraisal documents and in art history, which basically means it isn't his work. It looks like his work, but we can't connect it to him. If we could connect it to him, well, I'll do that in a minute. First of all, if we could connect it to Jackson Pollock, we'd be talking probably $100 million.
What?
I know. If we could, for that size, right? For of course, a 3 feet by 3 feet or so piece. Your piece, I would say, is worth about $500.
About how much?
$500. What did you pay?
$5. So that's still
$5
good.
for $500. I like it. It's a nice piece. It's not a Jackson Pollock, but it's in his style, and I like it very, very much. So I think you did great. Are you going to hang it in your house?
I had bought it for a pink bedroom, but it don't look good in that pink bedroom. So
It doesn't look as good in the pink bedroom. Maybe you could find a red bedroom. I don't know. It's a nice painting. It's a good non-objective painting, I have to say, in the abstract expressionist manner. It looks like from the back, the canvas is later than the 1940s, 50s. Remember, Pollock, of course, is dead by the time this particular painting was done, based on the stretchers and based on the canvas. But it's nice. It sure is nice. I like it.
Thanks a lot.
$5 for 500. That's a good one at the yard sale, estate sale, flea market. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Audrey.
Nice to meet you too.
Be careful if they say your middle name, you know you're in trouble. That's a lot of fun too. That's a lot of fun. It was beautiful. I thought it was very beautiful. Sure, you know, you got to take a chance on it. I like the fact that it's not only about being signed, Terry Lynn, but that's a good question. I love your questions. Not only about it being signed, you know, Pollock signed some of his pieces, but not all. And many of the abstract expressionists didn't sign their pieces on the front at all. They would sign them on the back, or of course not at all. So you want to be aware of that. Some great books on that, and some great, you know, even websites on, of course, that. So that's a really nice one. I'm impressed that you would choose that at the yard sale, flea market, estate sale. I'm happy when you guys are choosing pieces that are non-objective or very, very modern. That's great. I also am happy when you rescue a portrait of somebody. I think portraits should be rescued too. So I like to see, of course, what you guys like to see and what your taste is in terms of the objects that you choose when you're thrifting, or the family heirlooms that you have that you need more information on. Of course, I'll look at those too. You know, we love to see what's coming from the thrift stores, what your real bargains are, but of course, that other thing. Did that punch bowl that cut you have any value? Yes, indeed, Liz, it did. That punch bowl that cut me did have value. So, and it's broken. And once it's broken, of course, the value decreases. Condition is, of course, very important to antiques. But yeah, so, and they tell me that the stitches can come out soon. So that would be great because my typing skills are really not that good. They've been devalued too, my typing skills. So, but thank you for your concern about the punch bowl. My finger is fine too. Yeah, my guests are here from all over, some great pieces. It's good to have all of you with me. Thank you for joining me. So that's great. I want to look at a couple of things. Let's see. So we've got the Blair Pour La France. We've got that. I want to look at the blue. I want to look at the blue carving set, the blue serving set. Excuse me. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, Dr. Lori.
Nice to see you. Hey, they match your nails and
Yeah.
and your glasses.
What can I say? I like blue.
Yeah, I like blue too. That's great. Can you back up a little bit? It's so funny because I'm like, oh, just her nails, and I'm like, in her shirt and her glasses. And what's your name, sweetheart?
Christine.
Hi, Christine. Where are you in the world?
Northern California, outside
so
San Francisco.
So what have you got here? I did some video calls today, and I'm speaking to a couple of people from that neck of the woods. And thank you, Jennifer. It's so good to see you, Jennifer. Jennifer and her dad were recently on a video call with me. It was a lot of fun. So tell me about this. I like this set. Do you have the whole set, or is it just the serving pieces?
Just these. I went to a thrift store looking for some pieces to go with some china I just bought, and I found them in a bin with some silver plate and some lucite handled pieces. Good. And I bought them for the color.
Okay. Let me say this. You go ahead,
hon. There are David Anderson, sterling silver.
Okay. So they're marked sterling on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay. So we're liking the David Anderson. Of course, very, very nice. And they're in good condition. The handles are in good condition too. Did you get all the other ones too? The silver plate and the ones that have the lucite handles, or no?
I did get some silver plate.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, are you a reseller?
No, this is for me. I bought them to go with some china I'd recently got at Goodwill.
Good. I think that's great. Great. So what did you learn about David Anderson? Did you learn that these particular pieces are relatively hard to find?
That's the truth because I couldn't find any.
Right. So they're marked they're marked clearly on the back of the piece, on the back of sort of the top of the handle, correct?
Right.
And then they're sterling silver, and the enamel looks very, very good. There's no chipping to it. It looks like it's in great shape. Terrific. How do you have them attached there? With a little silicone?
Some mounting putty.
Oh, mounting putty we use in museums, like silicone. Okay, great.
Right.
It's perfect. It's great for my purposes. It looks good for the show. I love it. And I thank you for the plain background too. I would say value on the three of them, on the three pieces. So you've got the salad fork and the salad spoon, and then you have another server, which could be for cake or could be for, of course, trying to pick up something like a fish. Usually a fish server has a little bit of a curve in the side of it. So it could be that you're picking up something like a pork chop or such, but usually that particular piece is for cake or for serving a dessert type. I would say value on the set, about $315 for the set of 3. And that's the
great.
sterling silver, the enamel, and of course the design. You're paying basically for the design. So the fact that you liked the color and it's sterling silver, that's where we get the big high numbers. How much did you pay for them?
50 cents each.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
50 cents each. Now that constitutes a real bargain, right? Just about $325. I love that. I think that's beautiful. And it matches so well. Were you happy with it? Were you surprised?
I was. Once I got them in the car, I was like your first guest. I didn't have my glasses with me. I didn't have a loop. So I got up my magnifying on my phone and saw the back that they were sterling. I knew they were a little heavier, but I just really liked them for the color. I knew they'd go with my dishes, so that's why I bought them.
Characteristics are going to be easy for this one for your list. First of all, the characteristics you want to look for the maker's mark or the name if you have to, if you can, right? I want you to look for, of course, sterling. Those marks are going to be important. I want you to look for the fact of, if you look at the fork and you look at the spoon, they're the same overall shape. It's the same overall round shape of the bowl, even though one's a fork, okay? And then you also see the length of the handle where the decoration is to make sure that you have a match. You got to make sure you have a match. So look at it, scrutinize it, put it right on top of each other. They should be almost identical in terms of size as well. Sterling, of course, you're going to learn it not only by the marks, but also by the weight, the feel, and the smell. Sterling has a particular odor. I'll call it an aroma rather than an odor for sterling silver. But that's really quite nice. So, and remember, these particular forms have a very good look of that sort of, California look. And the color coming into it is definitely that 1960s to the 1980s time period. I really like these a lot. Really beautiful, beautiful. So congratulations on that one. That's a great one.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lori.
My pleasure. And I'll leave you with, a lot of blue. And I'm blue if I don't see you next time. I'm Dr. Lori. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for your super chats and your super stickers. I'll see you next time.